Evening all, and welcome to episode 69 of Kerbalism. Now last time out I was trying to stick these two together via the docking ports and it wasn't working. It wasn't having it, and I decided to send them off to Minmus instead. However, I had managed to have the game crash on me switching between the two vessels, so I reloaded it, and whilst it was reloading I had an idea. You see, this craft here has the pod with the claw on it, reattached to the end of it. And I was thinking, if I was to just arm that and grab onto the nose of the other vessel, that would work. That would stick the two of them together. Hopefully I can get it completely spot on lined up, because that would be nice. Want to do that, I think I can transfer the fuel across, because I'm sure it will let me do that via the claw. I can then ditch one of these stages, and yeah, we can then all go to Minmus as one thing. So that's the plan. The drawback to it is that I'm not travelling correctly. That one is actually travelling up and we're not. So I need to somehow bring this craft higher, and the RCS just isn't strong enough to actually make any difference to this craft whatsoever. It's just simply not enough. So I mean, I can fire the engines up and try and get us heading towards it that way, but that's not really working, if I'm quite honest with you. That's yeah, that's just not doing it. So what I'm thinking of doing is actually undocking this again. If we remove this here, decouple that, and switch over to it, that one there. This is a tiny little craft, which doesn't have anyone in it. God damn it. Lisa, out you come. Oh, Lisa, reboard. Right. Oh, this is not good. We need to redock with that then. Ooh, that's not going to work, is it? No, because the SES is still turned on this. Jeb, do you have any monopropellant on board? I really hope so. Jeb, there you go. Yes, you do. Excellent. Right. Jeb, you're going over there. Of course, the little pod here had all the monopropellant, so it's not going to work with that. When Lisa gets out of there, she's got no monopropellant on herself. She can't take any from the craft, so yeah. That's not good. So we would instead come over here, grab onto that and board. There we go. Okie dokie. Right. Now we need to aim for that. And most importantly, we need to get these two facing the correct ways. I'm not entirely sure how this has still got any SAS controls, because Bill is not a pilot. I think that is kind of a bug when you had a pilot that had skills and you've EVA'd them, because there's no protocols on these, so yeah, I'm not really sure what's going on there. But anyway, point towards your target. Control from here. Right, there we go. That makes more sense. Okie dokie. Forward we go. Now these two craft are clearly shifting apart from each other, so I'm going to have to do something about that. And I think, unfortunately, it does appear that when I switch vessels, these stop turning. They stop doing the things they were supposed to be doing for some reason. I have no idea why, but yeah, something's wrong with it. This one is apparently still turning or doing something, so we'll let that carry on. be heading that way. I basically want to claw onto the front of this as squarely as possible, as completely straight as I need to. Then I've got this large docking port here to dock the two together. That's the idea, at least, anyway. The orientation doesn't really matter so long as it is kind of square on. That's the important part. I'm not sure actually what speed you need to be going for the claw to work properly. We'll slow down to about a meter a second. And there we go. There we go. That has grabbed onto it. So, after lots and lots and lots of manoeuvring, I have discovered that this craft doesn't have any reaction wheels in it, or doesn't have any decent ones. The little pod there is absolutely useless for reaction wheels. So yeah, we've gone round Kerbal a couple of times, and I've come close and then missed and then come back again, and I think this time we are on target. I've just been using the RCS to keep my nose pointing in the correct direction, which is a lot easier said than done, because the SAS wants to overtake all the time, wants to push it back again. So but I think we look like we're on target. We're coming in good. So let's see whether the power of magnets is going to do us any justice here. First time! Well, that's not really first time. That's probably about the 20th time of me trying to do that. The amount of times I've missed, the amount of times I've very nearly caught those panels is unbelievable. But we are connected. We are finally connected. So, I want to swap all the fuel around. Let's have a look, see here. I can't use the balancer because I'm not sure which is which. So, I'm going to do it the old-fashioned way. Let's open all these tanks up, all 5 of those, and then let's open the top one there, and we will take all the fuel in and speed up time to make everything go a lot quicker. Okay, and then we're going to have to go like that as well. There we are. All those tanks are empty, and those two don't matter. So there we are. Empty, 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 empty. Which means we can now ditch that one. Off you go. That's not going to return to Kerbal, obviously. We're not in an orbit to do that sort of thing. And yeah, now that's there. We are hopefully good. We can also obviously get power from this nuclear reactor. That can keep this craft going. And yeah, we can send one up instead of 2 individually. I could have done the 2 individually. I know that's possible, but I don't know. I didn't really want to. I was thinking something was going to be odd with it by doing it. Not that they both arrive at the same time, but I think trying to rendezvous in Minmus orbit would have been very difficult had they not been very close to each other. So yeah. So now all we need to do is get to Minmus, which should be fairly easy. I'm going to pick that there, and that should put us on the same sort of plane. I don't know whether Minmus will be there when we get there. Yes, Minmus is still there. Awesome. That's good. You on Minmus, we will be coming in over there. That's not quite what we want. We want to be coming in Well, we can change the plane later. But anyway, we have an encounter with Minmus. I want to make sure I am controlling from that one, so that we will be actually facing the correct direction. That's not active. Nope. So that's the only engine that is active. Okie dokie. So, our reactor is running at 5% power and has 144 years left on it. And our electric is, even with all our reactor wheels currently running, is still good. So, all is well, all is good, all is great. We'll go to Minmus. And skipping ahead a part, here we are at Minmus. We have arrived. I have put us in an orbit, 14 to 21k, which means we are almost complete for the contract. You see here, we have everything that's required. The only thing we don't have is that we're not actually a station. And I could do that very quickly by just renaming something here, but I don't want to do that just yet. I would like to actually build this station because that makes sense to me. We've used so little fuel here, it's going to be a real shame to drop them off and not use them for anything. So, not really sure quite what I'm going to do with that yet. But anyway, we want to build this station. We want to put it together and then put this one together and then drop them both down onto the surface of Minmus. So, I am actually going to complete the contract first. I was just reading through that here, and it's got here optional cupola. I don't know if I get science laboratory and cupola. Don't know if I get bonuses for that, but the cupola is on the other stage. So what I'll do is quite simply rename the vessel and make it a station, and it will be called our Minmus Refinery. Accept. Okay, so it's got to stay in orbit for 2 days. That's not a problem. Not a problem at all. Two days later, our time is complete, and the mission is complete. We have successfully put this station in orbit. It doesn't look much like a station. It's not really a station, if I'm quite honest with you. It's going to be a base. It's going to be a land base. It's going to be one to do all our fuel, as we've said. So, we need to find somewhere to actually put it. And where would be the best location? Obviously, we want water. That's the important thing here. So, that's not the right button. That one's the right button there. We want water. There we are. Our newly discovered water that Minmus has been hiding from us all this time. Where to actually put it, I'm not sure. I would kind of like to get ore as well, all at the same time. There's no real water down in the what are they called? The flats, the dry river beds. There's a little bit of water in some of them, but I think we looked at this one last time, if memory serves. I know it's on the dark side, it's not very helpful at the moment, but I believe sort of there is smoothish. That sun's really not being helpful. Let's look on this side, shall we? Let's look here. Let's look at this ridge, where it's bright. Nothing. Nothing. Right. Oh, we don't want uranite, that's no use. That looks good. No, it does not. Somewhere around the equator would be useful. But unfortunately, all of the water doesn't appear to want to sit on the flats. That is kind of flat there. What's it like for ore? It's good for ore. It's good for water. What we've got here? 6%. And ore we have 8%. Okay. There looks good. So, how do I set a marker to land? I cannot remember. It's not really important, I don't think. Let's not do that, because I need to actually assemble the vehicle first. Because I'm not going to land it as it is. I've got no wheels on it. I don't normally have a little trick with the wheels underneath on this one here. And I did design it like that originally, and then thought, well, I'd have to put drone cores and everything, or have some rover to go with this, which I could have done, I suppose, but landing them would have all been a bit of a pain. So I decided to just go with the whole assemble it in orbit and drop it down on these engines, and hopefully it will land. It should do. It's got 200 meters a second or so. So yeah, so that's where we're going to land. Unfortunately, that's not very helpful. Map type slope, that's not very helpful either. Look at the big map. Okay, so that's our big map. We're going to be landing here, so where's that? I can never read this map, but I haven't obviously scanned this completely, but looks of it, I've got dots and lines in it and things, so yeah. Let's put down a landing marker. How do you do that? A waypoint selector? Ooh. Let's do that. Let's put that down. There. Does that show actually on the... oh, do I have to turn on the overlay? Turn on the overlay? Well, that doesn't appear to show anything at all. So, okay, I'm guessing that there is that to turn off the ore. Yep, that looks like a kind of shoe. Turn it off. There. And that kind of shoe there, so we actually want to be landing there. That's where we want to land. Sure, there was a way to actually set a landing marker, and now I've forgotten how. Was that part of the zoom map? Waypoint selector, resource overlay. There. Ah, there we go. There we go. That's roughly where we want to land. Excellent. That took a lot longer than I expected. That's roughly where we want to land. Not exactly. Anywhere along there would be fine. So, what we need to do is assemble the craft. It's going to go down in two bits. The refinery and the base core. Base core going down first, probably. Although the refinery should probably go down for the nuclear power. And the base core should go down in the sun. So, unfortunately, the only way to keep these attached to each other is via this claw, and I need this claw to attach them this way. So, yeah, unfortunately, you're going to have to go onto your own power. So, I will disconnect this. I will assemble this all together, and you shall see the wonderful piece once it's all finished. So, with the two stations assembled, some crooked parts, but well, more or less together, the final stage would be to send them down to the surface. I am going to use these rockets here to do that. I will burn off whatever fuel is left in there and then drop this off from there and then switch back to these engines, so all should be good. But first, I actually need to do something else. When these go down to the surface of Minmus, I'm not going to be able to dock them together via these ports. That's not going to be possible. There probably is a way by landing them right next to each other, but, well, I'm not going to be that good. So, what I need to do is to grab these docking ports, that one there, and there's another one on the other side. Grab that one too, and they can be used to attach the two craft once we're down there. Hopefully they'll be close enough together. If not, I have to figure something else with it. However, there are two more of these over on the other one, but that's 4.1 kilometers away, so that's an awfully long flight. And although he's got the oxygen to do it, I'm a bit worried about the monopropellant. Over there, Bill could refill his suit. Here, he cannot. So if I go for that, he's gonna go and has to make the trip or die. So, well, I think the best thing to do would be to go for it. To go over there to grab those points, and he can sit on that other craft whilst it goes down. There's no reason why he has to be here. We will quite simply push him in that direction and, well, watch him go. And the wonderful, wonderful power of time warp. I do love that thing. Slow down and go up a bit here. We're still good. The monopropellant is used so tiny amounts. I don't know why I was even remotely worried about that. But yeah, we're definitely safe for mono-repellent. So we want to go down the bottom here first. Bring our inventory back up. Grab the two little attachment points. One there. Oh, careful, Bill. And one over here. Then Bill can go up and sit inside this pod here. We are going to have to go around in this a number of times before we settle down, because I want to put this down on the light side. Simply because I don't know how long it's going to take to get the reactor down or anywhere near it, so I want it to have some power. Because without the power, obviously, Kerbals die. And we don't want that. We don't want any of our Kerbals dying. We want them to all remain alive forever. So, yeah. Right. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to activate all these engines. I think. That bunch. That bunch, there we are. Right, all the engines done. I'm going to enable crossfeed on this, which should allow all the fuel engines to use all the fuel, and I'm going to increase the flow priority on this one here, so it should use that tank up first. That's the idea. That way, once the tank's used up, this can obviously drop down to the surface and explode, and then the rest of this craft can gently come down to there. I'm probably going to use the mono-repellent at the same time as well to slow us down. I'm going to have these set as oh, they've already got that. They're set to use as an engine, so I'll have the RCS on as well, just to make it lighter as we go down. And you'll notice as well that there is docking port on the wrong way around there. For one. So you can see the inside scaffolding parts there, so we can swap that around. We do have Bill here, but that can be done later. But we've got an ore tank here with some ore in it. That's not because I wanted to bring ore up here, that's simply to counterbalance. This is a launch pad and it is light, really, really light. The habitat is not so light, so I put a ore container to balance it basically. So yeah, these two are pretty much the same, and then those two are the same, so yeah. That's the theory. All we need to actually do now is take this down to the surface of Minmus, plonk it down, bring the reactor down next to it, and then we will have to send up a third craft, because one very important piece of equipment is missing. Didn't bring a drill, so I can't actually get any water, which is a little bit dumb. Yep, but well. Just have to send another craft with a drill and maybe a little rover. I think that was the idea. I had a rover. Yes, I was going to build something up here and didn't bring any rocket parts, so that falls apart anyway. So yeah, the forward planning didn't go as well, but anyway, we need to go around to this location. Is here somewhere, so it's just about to come into the daylight. So we can plonk ourselves down on it and, well, make Minmus our brand new home. And our descent to Minmus should be the focus of the next episode. Thank you very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed this one. Hope to see you again in the next one. And until then, as always, have fun.